So he was just talking about how Shane has kind of, I mean, you've known him longer than most of these guys, but he's kind of instilled his started to instill his culture, and you mentioned accountability a lot, and how that allows leaders to also be able to hold people accountable. Can you speak to that at all, and just kind of how that has played out, maybe?
Yeah, man, it's been cool to see Shane's, personality come out, and, how he installs the program and how he builds everything. And accountability is a big part. He's going to be hard on the coaches. He's going to be hard on the leaders. So that way, that all trickles down. If you can be hard on your, best players, then you can be hard on everybody. And luckily, I think we have a good group of guys that, don't have an ego and are okay getting coached and getting better and admitting that when we're wrong.
How does he balance that, right? Because you can't be that guy all the time, right? So how does he kind of counter that at times if he does it?
Well, it's not a personal thing. Like, what you do as a football player isn't you. It's just what you're doing. So, like, if you mess up a route, like, it's not because you're a bad guy or you didn't want to. Like, hey, we're just going to fix it and get it right next time, So I think, it's just kind of how you frame it.
Is there anything different about Shea that you've noticed as a head coach compared to just what you knew of him as an offensive coordinator?
Not really, which is a great thing. He's staying true to who he is, staying true to his values. It's cool to see some of the, differences come out. You can see his personality and the things that he really believes in, come out. But, it's been cool to see how consistent he is.
Gardner, how do you like to spend this next month and a half when you guys are away from the facility, when you ramp it up for training camp?
Yeah, I'll take about a week off, go home, see everybody, and then be down in Florida just training, getting ready to go, pretty much until it's time.
Will you try to throw some of the guys in between now and camp?
Yeah, I think we're actually going to have a decent amount of guys down there, so it might be a good central location to round everybody up. We've been talking a little bit about that, probably get with Anthony and figure out, a good way to do that.
Gardner, for you, what's the balance between competing and also knowing that you have Anthony and maybe trying to help him along the way? What's kind of the give and take, the balance of doing both at the same time?
Yeah, well, my performance doesn't really have anything to do with his performance. I can go out there and be great. It's not going to affect him. He can go out there and be great. It's not going to affect me. So I think our whole room is just pushing to be the best that we can be, and in that way serve the team the best we can.
How would you describe the relationship that you all have kind of developed over the last few weeks? Saw some high fives and things like that, and it seems like you're his biggest cheerleader when we're out there for our viewing portion.
No, I think it's been great, man. I think you see it on film. Anytime somebody has a big play, the other quarterbacks behind her are going crazy. And, I think it's been a lot of good energy, a lot of camaraderie being built, a lot of high fives and smiles, So I think those are all things, when times get tough, you got to be able to rely on those strong relationships, and it's good to see those getting built.
Does it take a certain type of makeup of the guys in that room for it to play out that way?
For sure. I think in any room, but especially in quarterback, you got one guy that's going to be out there. And at the end of the day, whoever's out there, you got to support him, and that's how we're going to win, is through whoever's out there. So trying to help in any way you can, whether you're out there or not.
Have you seen from your persptive, being around him, has his things sort of settled down for him? Is he settled? He's still new, but he's settling into to where it's easier for him and more comfortable?
Yeah, no, it's funny, man. I remember coming off the first day, he's like, man, that's fast. We're like, yeah, it's only going to get slower though, So it's been cool to see him. He studies hard, he picks it up, he wants to learn. So he's been doing a great job there, and he has been improving steadily, and I think he'll continue to.
Along with that support and the relationship that you guys have, it looks like it's pretty competitive in the drills too. You guys been pushing each other in that way as well?
For sure. I mean, the only way to get better is, to push each other and to, try to be the best you can. And having somebody right next to you, kind of, naturally picks that up a little bit. So it's been fun, man. I think we got a good group and look forward to continue working with them.
You talked about just kind of worrying about your own performance to a great extent, but can you take some joy in watching the young quarterback, make a big play or figure something out, and see that development? You were there one time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's awesome, kind of first time kind of being the older guy, it's a little bit different. So, it's cool to be able to help and, wherever I can, helping him and to see the things that he's picking up. It's exciting, man, because I remember, kind of doing the same stuff and remember how hard, but also how fun it is, when that starts clicking. So it's been a cool to kind of see that part.
Shane mentioned last week that one of the biggest learning curves for young quarterbacks is the red zone when they come into the NFL. How have you seen Anthony Richardson kind of attack that side of it, make mistakes, learn from it, and just realize maybe how accurate and condensed and everything is when you get down there?
Yeah, the windows are certainly tighter down there. But also, you don't have to force it. A lot of times, the little low completions are good things. Checking the ball down is a good thing. So, I think every time we step out there, picking up things, and I think he does a good job of taking, the meeting room out to the field.
Gardner, how would you describe the philosophy of this offense and what you guys want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think we kind of take what the defense gives us. I think we do a lot of things off complementary looks. Our staple plays, having a twist or a wrinkle off those, having different motions and formations to set up, same play that we're pretty good at. That's kind of the general idea.
When you first got to
A couple more.
when you first got to Philadelphia, the Eagles were coming off of a rough season, new coach, somewhat, kind of similar to here. What do you think you learned in Philly about, the way you guys, like what you guys can take away from there that can take you up quickly? Because you guys got a lot better really fast in Philly.
I think we were super process-driven in Philly. That was one thing Coach Sirianni was all about. He loves his plants and how the plants grow, And but there's a lot of truth in that. We were just taking one step at a time. I think a lot of people don't realize. I think we were like 2-5 that first year, and kind of turned it around when we got to the playoffs. And the whole thing was just don't look up. Keep doing the things that we need to do, the things that we know work. So I think you just stick to that and trust in your process, and I'll get you where you need to go.
Gardner, you've obviously played for Shane when he's called plays for you in games. How would you describe him as a play caller in your ear on game day?
Yeah, I think Shane has a great feel for the game. Has a great feel for when to speed it up, when to slow it down, when to get different guys involved. Does a great job communicating with the guy that's in there. And he's played the position, played quarterback, so can kind of see it from our eyes too. So he's a lot of fun to play for.
It's been your impression of Jim Bob Cooter. I know you knew him a little bit, but now seeing him kind of run the whole offense.
Yeah, Jim Bob's been great, man. I had the previous experience with him in Philly. Obviously saw everything he did in Jacksonville this year. He's been awesome, man. It's been a great room between Shane, Jim Bob, and Cam Turner, our quarterback coach. It's been a lot of fun just kind of talking through ball, figuring out, what we're going to try to be as an offense. It's been great.